Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Internet. No, we're not doing that yet.
And welcome to the channel.
We're in Flinders, and we had a pretty good night in the tent. The generator didn't keep me awake, to be honest. And yeah, we're just sitting here waiting for the rain to stop, which it actually has at the moment. So we're waiting for the tent to dry. Is that what we're waiting for?
I'm not sure.
What are we waiting for? Yeah, we're just waiting.
He's waiting for me.
Yeah, we're just waiting.
We're just waiting.
Yeah, we don't know what we're waiting for, but we're waiting. Yeah, we're waiting for a sign. Yeah. We don't have a plan for today. That's probably what we're waiting for. A plan.
Something to miraculously come to mind.
Yeah, there is a little bit of rain. We are sort of waiting for a big rain band to sort of go away. Because if we head it off now, we're probably riding into it.
And on dirt.
And we're still contemplating whether we're going to do the dirt or not, up to Razorback Lookout, which we would really like to do. I would really like to do.
Yeah.
And it'll be a whole lot less dusty now. Yeah.
Bit more muddy. But
yeah, I don't think it's been enough for mud. So yes, we're going to do a little bit of a look around out here. There's the fire pit. There's a lovely smell of the toilets that just stays with us. Yeah. And there's a few tourists around, but yeah, ultimately I think we do need to get going, don't we?
the camp, and show them whoever this is.
The what? The camp?
The camp. We got camp.
But we've seen the camp.
Did you know the camp?
The camp. So there's the bikes.
Oh, look at that grey cloud.
And the tent. Yeah, no, it's all good. Doesn't look grey at all, does it? No. It's the ABC range. Right out, right off into the distance, dude.
This is am I using the camera right face?
I'm holding the wrong bit. Yeah, I was just videoing my face. Danny being a wimp.
It's the African Twin Club.
There's 1 bar 3G.
Oh, is there? Okay, we're at Razorback Lookout, dear, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Bike's made it. Oh, look at that shot over there. And we just arrived and the Africa Twin Club was here, which I think I got on video, but it was very rocky up that hill.
I got a photo of you.
Did you? And look at this view. It's pretty amazing. Pretty awesome. We get some sun and we get some cloud. It was a nice steep hill to get up this last little bit. And what an awesome ride.
Howdy. Hello. This is our little B&B room out in the Never Never. No, we're not the Never Never anymore. There's the bikes.
New Jamestown.
New Jamestown, out in the middle of nowhere.
It's so cute.
Yeah. After leaving the B&B
Yeah.
in, what was it, Benelli? Benelli Wines, which was quite a nice night. It was a nice small room, but it was good. We had a continental breakfast. And I should turn my ignition off. And now we're at the Lookout at Morgan. And we've both learned something. It appears there is a very well known river that we're quite familiar with flowing through here. Thems would be the banks of the Murray, or would they not be?
They are.
We're deciding what we go do. Whether we look for a bush camp here, a Renmark or somewhere. Yeah, be good to get the tent out because it's a bit damp. solo art, but there is some rain coming. Huh? And we're walking out to the lookout. And we're looking out over the Murray River. I think, well, at the very least, a big lagoon of the Murray River. I don't know, I think it's both. Wow, it's a lot of water. It's a lot of water. Once again, we're at the mighty River Murray. How we did? And it looks pretty full. So there's a lot of stuff going down the river. And we've just arrived in Edenhope. The last night, bikes parked. How you go, mate?
Don't you hate that? You're doing video and then somebody just stands in the shot and looks at you. It's terrible. It is.
Alrighty, what have we got?
I've got Malay kofta.
And I've got
Chicken tikka masala.
chicken tikka masala. That looks pretty good. This is our last night. We'll wrap up. Maybe a bit later. Oh, we better get a bit closer here. Right, we're doing the wrap up. And we've been a bit slack, so we're doing the last 3 days. And this is basically the second last day. So we're in Edenhope, in the motel
Palatial.
for the last night. We just had an excellent feed of Indian at the Edenhope motel. It was quite tasty. And we've got puddings in the room for dessert. But going back 3 days, what did we do, Dee? Where were we?
Well, once we left Cooper Pedy, which I hope we've done the wrap up of.
I don't know, but anyway, we're moving on.
We went from Cooper Pedy to Woomera,
Yeah.
and Woomera was the testing site in the 50s and 60s and 70s for
Mini rockets.
rockets.
Yes.
And it's still a military place. We saw military personnel there. It's still managed by the defence.
We saw Royal Australian Air Force personnel. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was and the hotel we stayed in was from the 60s and 70s, probably 60s.
Cheapest drinks in Australia though, $4 for.
And the bar was awesome. It was a container with a
shed.
shed tacked on the side of it, but it was a jumping, happening place.
Yeah, happening. Well, because drinks were $4 a pop. That's why.
Yeah, almost. You can almost order anything. It was everything was just $4.
Yeah. So from Woomera we went to. Just let me consult my notes.
Oh, that's cheating.
Well, yeah, because we've done a lot. We went to Blindman, up in the Flinders Ranges.
Ah, we slowly voyaged from the southern Flinders Ranges all the way up to the nearly to the northern Flinders Ranges, about halfway up actually. We went across up the road to the west of the Flinders Ranges, and then crossed to
Pilchner? Let's go with that.
Pilchner Gorge Road across to Blindman, and that the gorges in there and all the camping places were
gorgeous,
unbelievable. Yeah, and if any of them had a toilet, we would have stopped there, I think. But yeah. Anyway, we kept going and had an interesting night in Blindman, a smelly night. The hotel was really good, but the camping out the back of the hotel was probably less than ideal.
It stank.
and there was a generator. Yeah, the septic tank was needed a decent lid, and the generator was a bit loud. But the food was good at the hotel.
It was good.
And the place was amazing. Yeah. So, but we woke up and we were wet.
Yeah, it had rained overnight.
It had rained overnight, and it was sort of spitting a little bit, but still we'd been fairly lucky with the weather. So we headed off south, went up to Razorback Lookout, which was recommended to us from a motorcyclist, a very, very legendary motorcyclist, because he was riding an Africa Twin. We met him in Hawker, didn't we?
We did.
So on his recommendation, we rode up there, and when we got to Razorback Lookout, we'd bumped into what I thought was the Africa Twin Club, because their motorbikes were all like mine. Well, at least 2 out of about 6.
5.
2 out of 5, was it?
I think there were 5 of them.
2 out of 5, they had Africa Twins.
Legends.
Anyway, so that was good. So we had a chat to them. We flew the drone. The lookout was amazing, and we'll include some drone footage here. I like how YouTubers do that, but it never worked. Yeah. And then we rode out through some awesome scenery in Flinders Ranges, and out to Hawker, and then where do we stay?
From Hawker, we decided that we wanted to ride a bit more, so we went to a little, just a little B&B at a winery called Bellelli Wines.
Oh yeah.
Which was just out of Jamestown. And it was just this little box in the backyard of this farmhouse, and it was awesome.
And she looked after us.
She really looked after us. Beautiful room, fantastic.
But it was a cold night.
Look it up, Bellelli Wines.
Yeah, and I probably should have accepted the blanket that Jane said that we should have used at the start of the night, because by the end of the night it was cold. And I rolled around that night. But yeah, it was cold. Did we get wet the next morning? I think it rained again overnight. But once again we dodged the rain. Yeah, and then where?
From there we rode to Renmark.
Yeah, on the Murray. And we went through a couple of other riverfront towns before we got there.
Yeah, we did. We went through Morgan
and Monash
and Waikiri, where they had the silo up.
Oh yes, and there was a big yabby, and there was a big parrot.
Was it a parrot?
Budgie.
Birds.
Something like that.
Colourful native things that
Yeah,
flap.
yeah, that silo art was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah.
And then we wound up in Renmark, where we camped. Next to an RV dump site.
We have this unique ability. We just walk in there and they go, those people. They'd like to camp next to the dump site. We're sure. And they slotted us in there perfectly. No, it wasn't as bad as Blindman, to be honest.
Oh, Blindman stank.
But we had some grass. And but we woke up in the morning and everything was absolutely saturated because it was foggy.
4 degrees.
I think it was 7.
Yeah, 7, but felt like 4.
Oh, felt like 4.
So I'm going with 4.
Yeah, but it was nice by the river, and the sun did come out there, and we in Renmark we realised that night that my parents, Mum and Dad, were actually on holidays and randomly happened to be staying in the same town. So we got together and had breakfast with them, which was good.
It was awesome.
At a bakery in Renmark.
Yep.
So yes, the morning wore on, and we got late. It was nearly midday before we headed off from Renmark. We still had 400 k's to go. So we rode vigorously.
We rode.
Yeah. So we pointed in that direction, and we didn't do much else because we pulled in here with a time change about 5:20, and it was pretty much dark when we got here, and it was freezing cold. So this was the first day, I think, in the whole trip where we actually felt seriously cold. And we entered Victoria. That was the other monumental thing.
We're back in Victoria.
Back in Victoria. So almost home. Last day to go. See the kids tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That's the wrap up. The morning of the final pack up. Huh? Bikes are getting loaded. The Janie's in her usual position in the toilet. Yes, it's the final. It's the last. It's the final. The final pack up. Yes, the last 300 k's home from Eden Hope. It was a pretty good motel, pretty good meal. Day. There's a little bit of blue sky, so you can't complain too much about that. Yeah, hair's good. I mean, we've actually got just rugged up with everything we own that we could possibly put on the motorbike. I've even got the puffer jacket underneath that. It's a cold morning. I think it's about 5 or 6 degrees, something like that. Yeah, coldest day we've ridden in so far. Happens to be the last one in Victoria. Signing off. Well, I'll probably do one more sign off video. See you then. The final mount up here. It's the last coffee. It's the last. It's the last coffee. We got the final munchies. It's apple cake. What about yours, Steve?
It's a brownie.
Looks very small.
Well, it's probably full of sugar, so it's probably good for you.
Where to put coffee? And here she comes. Back from the last toilet stop. How do you feel, Dee?
Relieved. What else do I feel after toilet stop?
How do you feel about
Sad.
jumping on the bikes for our last stretch?
That's a bit sad. That's a bit sad.
Yeah.
Do we need one last little dance?
But it is a very familiar peak
It really is.
that we leave from. And we need the last dance. Come on, make it your best.
Thank you.
You betcha.
Better not go.
That's a familiar door. Back again. Hello, puppy dogs. There they go. Well, the Voyagers have made it home, haven't we, dear?
We made it. We're home.